What is up, everyone? Happy New Year! It is Denise Salcedo and Righteous Reg. We are the California Connection, and it is brand new year, brand new era. And AEW today, for the first time ever, not only were they live on TBS, but they were also simulcasting over on Max. And I gotta tell you, it was a smooth, very effortless stream.
Yep.
Good times. Reg, how are you?
Yeah, I'm so excited and I just cannot hide it, Denise. I can't believe we made it here. Look at this. No, that's probably the best thing about the whole show is we watched the whole stream, no problems. It never cut out, it never went off. So shout out to Max for getting the first simulcast off without a hitch, it felt like. But yeah, like I was saying before we really got in here, if you this is what you're presenting, if these are first time viewers at AEW, that's probably not what the way I would have went with presenting a show, but I do understand of like there's people being like, well, look how the crowd was going. Look at those reactions. So there's a section of fans that that's going to represent for. But for what AEW is, I don't know if that's the angle I would have took.
Right. So that really is. So before we get into all of what happened with the Death Riders and rated FTR, I do want to go ahead and take care of some like house business first. And I would say that the big thing really is when we were trying to see of how AEW would be presented on Max, right? So we saw a little bit of difference in the like the camera. It looked a little bit like more zoomed out. I kept saying that had that dailies place sort of vibe to it with the way that the camera was shot. But the big thing is, we have a brand new AEW intro song. And while this is a song that everybody knows, and you've probably heard it in video games like me or wherever else, stores, commercials, whatever, it's the Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited. Um, this was not really what I had anticipated for an AEW theme song. I am more of a kind of a rock type of chick where I feel like that's what I would want more from my wrestling theme music. I mean, shout out to Forcible Entry. That's my favorite wrestling album. So I feel like that should kind of tell you my vibe of what I like. And Reg, I think everybody was sitting here going like, we're going to change this next week, right? Like this song's fine and dandy for like right
For
now,
now,
but this is going to be like a new song next week, right? No, this is the official AEW Dynamite song. It's going to take a second to get used to because we were talking on the stream, Reg. It feels just a little too old and it doesn't have the kind of energy you would require in a wrestling show.
yeah, it feels a little bit dated. When they announced that they were gonna have the Elton John song for Collision, I was like, oh, the Saturday night, there's the connection. That's the reason why we have a song from fucking 50 years ago. And so here I'm like, okay, we're starting new, we're starting fresh. This is a new era. And an old ass song from 1982 that a lot of people watching this probably don't even know. Like, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't give up the vibes of what AEW Dynamite is going to represent. As an ECW young boy, like the soundtrack that Paul Heyman used to give up and add to it, there's a lot of rock, there's a lot of hip hop, a lot of like what this generation is and who we are. This feels like my grandma picked the song for AEW Dynamite. My grandma's like, somebody's like, hey, grandma, what's your favorite jam? She's like, I really love that I'm So Excited song by the Pointer Sisters. Well, they should go crazy in the club. And it's like, wait, it's 2025. Why are we doing a song from 1982? Very confused. You have a lot of great in-house producing and music supervision. You have a lot of great artists around the world that could have been in here. Songs from the 90s, songs from the early 2000s that could have represented in here. I'm just super confused, honestly.
I think if you told your grandma, though, hey, grandma, pick something for a wrestling show, I don't even think she would pick this.
Grandma's not gonna be like, yeah, dude, I'm so excited. She's gonna be like, Eye of the Tiger. Something like you were like something that represents like we about to see a fight. We're about to see some action, and like I'm so excited. It's like dance fighting. Like I'm saying, this is a classic case of I'm gonna catch you in the middle of the street, West Side Story shit. Like, why are we dancing? I'm so excited. What do you mean I'm so excited? I'm not excited. I want to see somebody get fucked up, get power driver power bomb. Like this way, I want to see like a glitter ball. I want to see like a fucking disco ball in the middle of the room. Like I'm not hyped up for wrestling after this.
I'm curious. I want to get behind the thought process of picking this song for the theme. Like, was this just Tony Khan saying, I love this song,
I
let's
love this
make
song.
this song the AEW Dynamite song? Was there suggestions thrown out? Was there, hey, this is the song we're doing? And everybody was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go with this song. What was the thought process behind this?
I'm so nervous. They talk about like Yes Man and people backstage. Somebody had to be like, Tony, like, you guys, 1980. I'm so that doesn't fit the vibe of a wrestling show. I'm never in my life watched a wrestling show and been like, I'm so excited as how I'm gonna get into this. Like, no one on the show has ever had that theme. That's just not a way you get somebody pumped. You're in the gym. That's not a gym mix. Like, I'm confused, Denise. I don't know what
No, I
happened.
wouldn't even work out to this song. And like, here's
No,
the thing is I don't want to shit on the song because it's like a
that's a great
cute
song.
song. It's a cute
Yeah,
song. Everyone knows it. It's fine for commercials when you're
facts.
excited about promoting a broom.
Dishwashers, yeah, like
Yes.
all that. Great.
Yes, exactly. Like this is a great vacuum. I'm so excited. Woo! You know, I'm bored. I'm bored with that.
But for AEW fucking Dynamite Wrestling, Will Ospreay, Jay White,
Okay,
Okada,
let me
Kenny
ask you a
Omega,
question.
what the fuck?
What are you guys more excited when you hear? Ready, Reg? Close your eyes. I want everyone to close their eyes and get excited, all right? Is it the I'm so excited and I just can't hide, whatever how the firework goes?
Not
Or
excited.
here we go, Reg. Close, keep those eyes closed.
Mhm.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the
Yes,
bodies hit the
I'm
floor.
hyped.
Let the
I'm
bodies
hyped.
hit the
Yes,
floor. Okay, that's
yes.
a terrible singing
Let the
song, but
bodies hit the
you see what I'm
fucking floor.
saying?
I'm hyped. I'm in. I'm going for it. Something like that. Something that gets my blood pumping. That does not get my blood. That makes you going to go to the disco, Denise.
Remember how we all lost our shit when RVD came out to Pantera Walk on
Greek,
AEW?
fit, walk hard as hell. I was going crazy.
Dude, exactly. When you play that kind of music, it gets you in a whole different way, man.
What happened here, Denise? Was there
I
just
don't
like you think Tony
know.
was just like, this is our new song, shut up, everybody? Like, what happened? How?
Just here's the thing. It's like you can have your favorite songs, but you have to know when to execute them. For example, like you just have to know when to use certain things,
That's a
right?
fact. That's a fact. Because my most nervous thing ever is like if somebody says, "Hey, could you play music when there's a bunch of people there?" Because like I know what type of music I want, but like trying to please everybody, and you can't just play your favorite music in those situations. It has to be for everybody. It's not personal. And this feels like a personal pick. Somebody was just like, "I really like this song. This should be the song."
It's
And
like
that's
if
not
I
how it should
started a
work.
wrestling show and my intro song was Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. I love
Right.
that fucking song, but it doesn't fit a wrestling show.
No, like if that's your jam, I'm with you, but you're not going to put that at the beginning of your show.
I don't really know what happened there, guys, but
I'm so excited. I'm just confused as to why that was the song. There's so many songs. There's a catalog of songs, a million songs. Like there's too many songs at this point. They upload
old is
60,000
fine.
songs a day, but they're like, I'm so excited out of all the songs.
Here's the thing, like we were talking on the watch along, we were mentioning all these old songs that would have even hit better. You could have gone old is fine. Go with
Mhm.
old, great. But it's gotta at least have that kind of energy.
Like how old is don't
Which
another
one's
one
that one?
bites the dust. Like that would
Oh,
be better. That song's old as hell, but that makes more sense for wrestling.
another one, and another one.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Some Queen, some stuff. Like there's so many songs that like would have represented, and I'm so excited. I'm just like, this sounds like we're gonna be tuning into like fucking Hello Kitty or like My Little Pony is coming on or something. I don't know, you
Hey,
guys.
don't be throwing shots at Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty be having hella licensing deals. Hello Kitty is on everything, okay?
I know Hello Kitty
Everything.
would have me killed right now. I don't fuck with Hello Kitty. It was just an example that I was
Bro,
making.
the
Sorry, Hello
kitty's
Kitty.
about to come get you, Reg. She's gonna be
I don't
like,
want to.
"You fucking with me? You fucking with me?"
Don't send the
There's
Kitty
two.
Mafia, you guys.
There's two things you don't mess with. All right, two of those little animated things that you don't mess with. Hello Kitty is one of them. The other one is Mickey Mouse. You
Oh
don't
yeah,
mess
you
with
don't
the
fuck around
mouse;
with
they'll
Mickey
take you
Mouse.
out.
Yeah, nah. There's also some Betty Boop freaks out there too. I don't know what people feel about Betty Boop, but
Yeah, she's pretty popular too. I think she has
mhm.
like her own genre of people too that are very into Betty Boop because everybody that's into Betty Boop kind of looks like Betty
They
Boop.
do. Like
Right?
all the women like dress like her a little bit. It's weird.
They
Betty
got the
Boop
cute
brings
short
great.
black hair, the nice red lip, and the like voluptuous feel.
We
Trust me,
gotta,
I know it. I see it. I look at somebody and I'd be like, oh,
because
she a fan of Betty Boop.
Latinas are super. They're like the number one demographic for us. Like
Yeah.
Betty Boop fans are like Latinas are number one, and then the rest of the world pretty much.
They opened a Betty Boop cafe apparently, or somewhere around here.
And Betty Boop is so old. Like her cartoons are like from like the 40s. Like they're old as fuck, and
but
people are
old
still
is
like Betty
coming
Boop.
back because you know what else?
Obviously,
came back,
we're
Reg?
talking about the goddamn Pointer Sisters right now.
You know what else came back? My mom, ever since I was a little girl, she used to love strawberry shortcake.
Mhm.
Now there's strawberry shortcake everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, my mom loved this when I was a baby. Although I do love strawberry shortcake, so I can't even
Strawberry
complain.
shortcake. You talking about like the cake, the dessert?
No, Reg.
What?
Strawberry shortcake, the doll.
I thought you were talking about the dessert.
Do you not know Strawberry Shortcake the doll?
I don't know what that is.
The little series, the cartoon, Strawberry Shortcake?
Never seen it, never heard of it.
There's no way, Reg. There's no way. It's what? It's everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Strawberry shortcake? Like the strawberry shortcake, like cake with strawberries on top of it?
No, it's Strawberry Shortcake. She's like this really cute little girl with a pink little hat. And they've had so many, like they've had different versions of her, like throughout the years. They've had versions of Strawberry Shortcake, but hold on.
Strawberry shortcake? Never heard of her.
You know what? Hold on. Let me make this easier. Hold on. All right, hold on. There it is. That's Strawberry Shortcake.
Okay. Yeah, I do know strawberry shortcake.
Okay, how do you?
These dots are connecting now. Then you're talking about the treat.
All right. Well, anyway, since
strawberry shortcake, I was like, what?
Old things are coming back. All right, that's where we're at right now. So who knows? Maybe Tony's on a trend here. He's on a nostalgia hype.
Like he's ahead of us. He's like, you guys don't know. Like in a 2 weeks, everybody's gonna be like, the Pointer Sister song is hard, and he's gonna be up on it. I see you.
Hey, I checked Spotify. The Pointer Sisters have 7.3 monthly listeners on Spotify.
They're still out here. So
7.3 million, Reg.
But does that make you be like, all right, they should be the fucking theme song of Dynamite?
No, definitely not.
What?
Definitely not. All right, but
how many plays does Salt and Pepper have? I'm sure they have a lot too. What the fuck are we doing here?
Are they the ones that sing "Push It"? Push it real good.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Unreal.
All right, with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into Dynamite. Did you feel any different watching it on Max though, Reg?
No, it felt like you said, we talked about there's like camera angles and like it felt like they're trying to add a different feel, but it felt like any other Dynamite that we've seen recently. Like there's been some better Dynamites in the last couple of weeks, like we've talked about. It didn't feel like I said, it didn't feel like the effort was put as much as I thought it was going to be with them debuting on Max. It was just like another Wednesday, and I'm not mad at it. Like there was some good wrestling on this show, but it just felt like maybe with what WWE's doing and how they're promoting their debut on Netflix, I thought that AEW was going to have that vibe a little bit more, and they just didn't.
Right, because at the end of the day, like there are going to be those comparisons made between the success of AEW streaming on HBO Max and the success of WWE streaming on Netflix, right? And that's going to be, a lot of it's going to depend on like what information they put out, right? Like if AEW gets really extraordinary numbers on Max or something, of course, Warner Brothers will send out like some sort of press release hyping up the show, that type of deal. If it doesn't do well, you probably won't hear anything. And then same thing with Netflix and Raw. They're going to, send out a press release saying blah blah blah, people tuned in, and they're gonna hype up whatever it is that's gonna make them look good. But also we're gonna be able to tell just based off the show, because when you think about, for example, like today I was kind of talking about, usually at the end of these shows I always slap a thumbnail with the biggest highlight of the show, a really kicker headline for the podcast. And I was sitting here and I was going, I'm not really so sure what today's kicker would be. Like, what would be that headline? What would be that thumbnail that would grab everybody's attention? So when I think about the show, we're going to have to go ahead and kind of get started with the end, because I think the end was probably one of the most newsworthy bits. and I don't even know if newsworthy is the right word, but we had a rated FTR get a big win of, the first time teaming up all together against the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta. And look, I know that here on this podcast, if you guys tuned into our World's End review, you probably know we're not that hot on this. However, the crowd bit into this 1000%. They did so at World's End, and they did so here tonight again. But let's get into it, man. Reg, you got any more gas left in the tank? What do you want to say about this?
I'm just not. Like, I understand the crowd. Like, sometimes I'm like, about it has to be broad. You have to appeal to a wider audience. Adam Copeland's a fucking Hall of Famer, WWE. He probably ratings and all these things. But this time I don't. Like, it's the main event scene. I'm like, again, you got Ospreay, you got Okada, you got Kyle Fletcher, you got Daniel Garcia, you got all these young players of what this company is going to be in the future. And that's not the vibes that I'm getting here. Like, we're getting 2010, like somebody said, 2010 WWE jokes on the fucking promos. And it just feels like they're pandering to a crowd that's not what this is. Like, the vibes and what AEW represents needs to be represented in the main event. And that's not what this is giving up. There's some saving graces, it feels like, in the show, like MJF talking about wanting to have the championship again is great. Them setting up for the Casino Battle Royal, like Swerve. There's some involvement in this, but like, this specific main event stuff is not doing it for me.
Yeah, I feel you were talking earlier about bringing old back, and I don't want to say it like that. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but
bring the old back.
It doesn't feel like we're moving forward with these new faces. And I think Corey MacArthur here put it really well here in the super chat, where he said this episode didn't represent a new era of of Dynamite. I think going into this with Max, you want to be like, oh my God, this is a hot new year. We're finally seeing Okada the way that he's supposed to be booked. Oh my God, Will Ospreay's continuing on fire. Holy shit, look at this stuff with Ricochet and Swerve, which was probably one of the only things they really got right on this show. Where, okay, you're excited about that. Ricochet's doing some great work. We'll talk more about that later. But even, like, for example, one of the things that we were talking about was we had Jeff Jarrett, who I love. Jeff Jarrett. Everybody knows I love Jeff Jarrett. But Jeff Jarrett goes out there and gets like a 10-minute promo. And we have Mariah May, who's your AEW Women's World Champion, who is always doing behind the scenes, promos backstage. And they always have that pre-recorded vibe feel to them. They probably are. Most of them feel like they are. I think they are. And then on top of that, they have her say the same thing every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after the feelings and emotions I had at the end of the pay-per-view, and I was like, there's a bunch of people being like, you're overreacting, the crowd, it doesn't matter. Seeing this show, I'm not feeling great coming out of it either. Like you said, I didn't even touch on Jeff Jarrett. Like, yeah, we get these 30 seconds to 45-second promos from Mariah May where she cooks, she destroys them every time. She's locked in the character. She's saying, you feel everything that she's saying, but it's just backstage and it doesn't really connect. And then they follow that up by Jeff Jarrett gets a backstage segment and he gets an in-ring segment. And he doesn't really say anything worthy of having all this TV time. Like,
he said, he's going to be in the Casino Battle Royal. That's what he said.
Why the fuck did we need 10 minutes of TV time for him to say that? He could have just been in it and came out, or they could have did like a fucking online internet thing on Twitter, a little 5 seconds. Hey, I'm still here. It's Jeff Jarrett, last outlaw. This ain't it. I got one more year. There's no reason when you got a locker room full of some of the best in the world, some heavy hitters, some young people, that 10 minutes, give them 6 minutes on the show and they would have blown minds. Like, I don't know why we're doing this Jeff Jarrett thing. And I like Jeff Jarrett a lot.
Yeah. And that's just, I don't know. It's a little strange where we're getting at right now. I don't know. Maybe AEW has been, because here's the thing. Okay, let me ask you guys, and I think a lot of people here can probably relate to this because I know I can. If someone keeps pointing out all of the bad things you're doing, right? If someone's saying, oh, you do these things all bad. All of a sudden, Reg, you start to focus on all the things you're doing bad and you ignore the things that you're doing good.
Yes.
And what if that's is what we're kind of seeing with AEW right now, where they're starting to
Okay. I
change
see.
their show and do different things because they're trying to do what they think is what with the people that are saying all like, oh, AEW's lost its buzz, AEW this,
Mhm.
but now they're going in a direction where they're trying to be a little bit more WWE-ish instead of being themselves AEW.
Yeah, I think that might be what it is. Cause like I think we talked about it on the show of the pay-per-view. AEW is still trying to find an identity, I feel, and especially with the beginning on Max and trying to establish what the brand's going to be on this platform, trying to find an identity. And I'm sure like they've done a bunch of research. They've talked to probably old veterans. They've talked to people that have been in the business and around wrestling on what they should do. And somebody probably like, hey, you got wrestling legends, you got WWE guys. They've been successful. Why not put them in the main event? You got Adam Copeland here. He's back. He's awesome. He's over. Put him in the main event. And it's just like, yeah, he should be involved. He should be locking it up with the newest generation of AEW, but he ain't locking it up with the newest generation of AEW. Like, if you're going to do that, you can't have all those guys against each other. Like, if you're going to have, let's put over these legends, Sting, his whole time was with Darby Allin and putting over, you didn't see like, Sting and fucking like Ric Flair would come in and do a thing, but they weren't doing those matches. Like Sting was locking it up with all new guys. He wasn't locking it up that people that he knew. And so that's what feels frustrating about this Adam Copeland thing is like he's just locking it up with Christian and people that he's been in the past with. And like I want to see you on TV, but against other people.
Right, right. All right, let's keep it going. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, thank you to Jacqueline for the memories. I haven't gotten to meet her as an adult, still on my bucket list. Yeah, Anthony Giuliano was sharing some great stories during the watch along about Jacqueline. So thank you so much, Anthony Giuliano. We got Turn Up the Heat with the two turnips and heat who says, whenever I can cope with the edge, I edge it out and then cope with it, I guess.
Okay, those are some bars. I like that.
I feel you. I feel you. Thank you so much. We got Luke Thornton here who says, Reg, do you think AEW is going to be able to course correct? Agree with you on critiques. Want to see Kenny, Hanger, Jamie, MJF, Swerve as the AEW faces. I mean, AEW thrived upon having people that you didn't know about. Before, when AEW started, I didn't know about Hangman Page. I
Right.
didn't know about MJF. I didn't know about, I'm trying to think who else I didn't know about. I knew about Darby because I had seen Darby in other places, but like there were so many people. Britt Baker, I didn't know who Britt Baker was. Like there were so many people that were totally new for me, and I'm sure new to a lot of other people. And it was kind of exciting to have
Mhm.
that.
Those people are all still on the cusp, I think, Denise. We just talked about for weeks how great the Continental Classic was and what that represented and in those matches and Darby and Will Ospreay and like the greatness of that. That's all still here right in the forefront, right in the back. So I think they definitely can course correct. This again, it's an interesting time right now. And they're trying a bunch of things. Like I think that they're trying to find a perfect balance between that of paying tribute to what wrestling is, what wrestling on TV represents, people that you know, and what AEW, the young people that that you talking about here, Luke. I think they can. I don't know how quickly they'll do it, and if the constant feedback, like Denise is saying, like we're constantly talking about AEW and the faults and the positives and all the things. Will they see those and immediately put them into place? Are they going to continue to execute with what stories that they have? You know what I mean? Like they could hear all we're saying, Denise, but they're like, damn, we got 6 months worth of stories that we kind of want to play out. So I don't know.
Hassan Botla says, I don't know why AEW is not promoting Wrestle Dynasty or Grand Slam. Maybe because they're not in North America. It was so funny because I went on. So usually I go to AEW's page to like find out what time the show starts because on their events page, they got all their lists. And, I look there and try to see what time things are going to start. They don't have Wrestle Dynasty listed on their events page. So I had to go to Triller TV to go see like what time the show was going to start because I didn't know what time the show was going to start. Then I went on their page on the Twitter page for AEW and I went to the media little section on Twitter to see if they had shared like a poster or something. And granted, this was last week. There were no posters, no nothing for Wrestle Dynasty. And I'm like, and I didn't even notice it until I was trying to figure out what time the show started.
I mean, they're probably thinking we showed the Kenny Omega package. We said he's going to be here next week. Mercedes got the thing. She talked about her match. In the main event, they promoted Claudio's match at Wrestle Dream, so they probably feel like they were adequate enough. But I feel like at the end they'd be like, "Hey, watch Wrestle Dream. We got this big show going on. We got this big stuff going on." I feel like they would make an extra emphasis on it. But I feel like there's people that were in the chat being like, "We don't want to hear about that New Japan shit," and they don't want to shove it down their fans' throats. So they were like, "We'll give up just enough." And the people that know.
Right, I feel you. Okay, well, either way, we'll be here
We'll be here.
watching Wrestle Dynasty. So if anybody of those people, those hardcore people want to come out here and chat Wrestle Dynasty, you're more than welcome to. We got Matt Logan here who says, bad day for my internet provider to have issues with my streaming apps. TBS was fine. Aw, see what? It's good to know you. Hey, they're simulcasting. You can pick whichever one you want, whichever direction you want.
But yeah, my the Max was great on mine. It never stopped. It never failed. It was awesome.
We got Sheldon Jackson here who says, I think ever since AEW has gone to smaller venues for TV tapings, it's been way better and more intimate. Also, it makes the venue look sold out every week. Oh, yeah, 1000%. It was probably the best call for them to make because I get so tired, Reg, every time I go on social media. I see all of these pictures, like these very like exaggerated images where you don't know what time they were taken. And it's like, no one's at the AEW shows. And some of them, I look at them and I go, all right, this was during this part of the show. That does look bad. Oh, this one, you can't even tell when the show, like, when was this? But all those pictures, though, they get such great traction of posting no people in the audience. And with
They're always
at
so
least you get less
annoying.
that.
Yeah, I mean, like they take pictures as soon as they get in there, nobody's there. I feel like I hope that with this week and with WWE going to Netflix, this stuff kind of subsides a little bit. Like we don't have to focus so much. Numbers are going to be weird. Numbers are going to be skewed in so many places. Let's just focus on the wrestling.
Well, I can see it already too. Like, let's say the the AEW rating looks really low this week or something on TBS, right? People are going to be like, oh, this show's bombing, but probably not realizing how many people went to go watch on Max instead.
Like, I'm never going to watch on regular cable ever again. Like, I'm Max, I'm streaming service from here on out, and they're going to have to start accounting for those things.
We got Cool Fool 1980 who says the intro theme is supposed to get fans in attendance and at home get their butts off seats and get types and not make them fall asleep. Exactly.
I'm so excited, you guys.
Watch, by the end of the year, Reg, that's going to be your favorite song. You're going to be walking around, cleaning your house. You're going to be like, I'm so excited. I'm about to lose something.
Once again, shout out to Jesse Spano, Saved by the Bell, love, but this is not it at all.
We got Yatik Sahu who says, on this day, cope.
On this day,
Grapple Geekery, thank you so much for the kind super chat. He says, love you, Reg, but there's plenty of AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and indie fans in North Carolina. Effie's Big Gay Thanksgiving was in my hometown. I wouldn't blame the reaction on the North Carolina. The main wasn't for us. It was for Asheville, who needed it. See, that was the other thing that I was thinking about at the end of the show for this was they were in North Carolina. And after everything that they've gone through, I feel like that's probably why they were a little extra hype. What would this ending have looked like? I don't know, in some other town, in some other city.
Like it wouldn't have been as hot in Chicago. Like North Carolina wants this. They are a wrestling place, and this kind of represents the history of North Carolina. So I understand.
Thank you, Grapple Geekery. We got Alexander Fitzgerald who says, signed up for Max and the show ran smooth. I've been without cable for years and I can properly watch AEW instead of watching a laggy stream online. Oh, good for you, man. Good for you. Those laggy streams online, they stink.
It's been how many 5 years at this point of trying to get a damn stream of AEW and it being terrible, but now I could just pull up Max. It's a new day here. I'm so excited.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
All right.
What? You left it out there for me to grab. Oh, that sounds really bad. Oh my gosh.
Whoa. Left it out there for me to grab is crazy. That's insane. You left it out there for me to grab. You left it out there for me to grab. Yeah.
Oh, why do I always make things worse? I was trying to shit on you and then it ended up going back to me.
Set yourself up for that one. I love it.
All right, we got Broadway Joe here who says people whining as if we haven't been calling him Edge for the last 20 years. Hashtag big cope. It comes with the running hug.
Big hug, big hugger, running hugger, big cope. Big coat.
That's amazing. Broadway Joe. Thank you for the laughs. Bailey Darley here says my favorite theme was To Be Loved when WWE used it for Raw. I love To Be Loved, right? I loved
Yes.
To Be Loved, the song. Papa Roach.
Yeah, Papa Roach. That was a really good one. Raw has had a bunch of really good ones around that time frame and kind of stacked together.
My favorite for Raw was Across the Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I still bump that like on the regular. It's part of my playlist. Like it's not because you know how it is, right? Like you got your playlist with like your songs, your singers and stuff, and then you got your like wrestling playlist. Then there are a few. Well, I do. I have separate playlists. All right, I have like my regular music, and
but
then
I know
my
there's a bunch
music.
of nerds out there that have it like that. So shout out to y'all.
And there are certain songs that made it onto the regular playlist because they're that good that I'm like, nah, you can't just be in the wrestling category. You got to be in my music category.
Word. I hope that Brian Keith's Bad Apple theme song is in there though. So shout out to all the people bumping that.
And I'm bumping it. The Bad Apple. Bad.
He posted about it yesterday. I'm like, damn, let them. Are they gonna let you use it on TV? What's up here? What is this?
Yeah, for real. You know what you should do? You should make it go viral on TikTok. Like make a dance for it or something, and then put the little put the little chorus, and that's it. Bam. Do like an eating challenge. How fast can you eat this red apple? And then put the Bad Apple song in the background. Bam. TikTok challenge. It goes viral. They'll have no choice but to use your song, Reg.
Did you guys see how fast Denise did that? Like her brain was like bam, bam, bam. Like that shit was like quick. Like her thing was working like that. That's how content works in her head. That's crazy.
See, Reg, you got to do it. I'm telling you. That's how you make it
sicko,
go viral.
Your brain is sick. Your brain is just like
content.
Content.
Might work. Dude, have you seen these TikTok challenges? They're stupid, but people love to do them. You know, I did the water bottle challenge several years ago when it was still Musically. I was on TikTok before it was TikTok. Musically. So you get a water bottle, right? Water bottle, and you have to drink the water, but you cannot bend your arm. So your arm has to be completely up in the air without bending the elbow. So while you're doing it and you're drinking, it makes it harder for the water to land in there. So I suggest doing this in the shower or outside, and with clothes you don't mind getting wet. But you see what I'm saying? It's such a silly, stupid challenge. But you know what? It worked, and people wanted to do it.
Okay, I see.
I know because I did it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Anyways, if anyone wants to try the water bottle challenge, go right ahead.
Try it.
All right. Let me get caught up here. Sorry about that, everyone. All right, we got Turn Up the Heat here. Says, well, the opening is way better than Kumbaya, my lord. Hey, isn't that the song that comes out in Shrek?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it comes out on Shrek.
Probably.
All right, we got Ten Ruza here who says Dynamite needs its own Across the Nation type theme. Yes. Or like when they had The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. That one was another lit song.
Does it have to be a known song? Just let Ruckus do his thing. I don't know what the issue was.
That too. If Mikey just created his own like banger theme,
yeah,
we would be like, all right, like as long as it's got the heat and the energy.
Dynamite. I like that one.
All right, we got Alexander Fitzgerald who says Amazing Grace would have been a better intro.
That would have been pretty good.
We got Chiba Chiefs who says sounds like someone at AEW was inspired by the Jesse Spano and caffeine pills episode of Saved by the Bell. Also, Happy New Year. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Does anybody else not know the song from Grand Theft Auto? That's how I knew the song. How do I know the song from Grand Theft Auto?
Because there's a generation of us that remember that episode of Saved by the Bell. And that's like, anybody below us is probably the Grand Theft Auto thing. But my generation, everybody around there is like, I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
Speaking of which, side note, I feel like everyone should know this, but apparently, you know how like we're millennials or like boomers or Generation X, Alpha, whatever, Z. Starting now, we got a new generation. The new babies being born, they're baby betas.
Baby betas?
Yeah, starting this year from 2025 through, I think they said 2039, something like that. It's baby betas generation.
What about the alphas?
What do you mean, what about the alphas?
Betas and alphas. They got to have somebody to bounce off.
Oh, no, it's baby beta. Isn't that cute? Baby beta?
No, it's not cute.
Come on, Reg. If you become
the worst
a father
generation.
in the next 5 years, you're going to have a baby beta.
If you become a father in the next 5 years, why?
Baby beta.
No, 0. I'm okay. Keep it.
All right, we got Gotham guy here who says, "Damn it, Reg, now you got me thumping Queens. Another one bites the dust song in my head as the new intro. Call Tony and Warner Brothers right now. We should have put a fan vote. Imagine if Tony Khan made a list of his 100 top favorite songs, did March Madness bracket type style, and had us all fucking vote on a song. That'd be kind of fun.
He could have just posted a Spotify Wrapped and been like, which one of these do you guys like? And everybody would have voted. We like this one. But he was like, no, I like this one. That's fair. It's his company. Get it whatever he wants.
Bailey Darley says, not being rude, unless AEW changes, they are slowly dying their product. I hope they can change. Like, it's not too, I'm not there yet. I think I think sometimes that sounds a little drastic. I'm not there yet.
Now, there's a bunch of things that they could change tomorrow to get back to it. They still have all these amazing wrestlers. It's just frustrating. That's it. It's not over though.
Turn Up the Heat says, when Ricochet joins the Hurt Syndicate, the lyrics will be, "We work people." Well, let's get into that because that was another highlight of the show. And I actually really loved what they did here today with freaking Ricochet. So they did a Casino Gauntlet #1 spot, which was Roderick Strong versus Swerve Strickland versus Jay White. And I think we kind of all knew what time it was here where Roderick Strong was pretty much there to take the pin. And that he did. But the additional portion of what we saw here was Ricochet came out and like stabbed Swerve Strickland with these scissors in the forehead. And we know Swerve loves to bleed. So he had a bloody face. And Jay White hits the switchblade on Roderick Strong and gets the win. So essentially Ricochet got rid of Swerve in this scenario. But then after this, we do see Ricochet continue the attack on Swerve Strickland. So by the end of it, we just had Swerve just there lying a bloody mess. But eventually the Undisputed Kingdom came out and helped him out because they're friends now, apparently.
Friends. How many of us have them? Yeah, very surprising that they came to help Swerve. I think that the match is super fun. Swerve, Jay White, and Roderick Strong, all tremendous workers. I think Roderick Strong in triple threat matches is pretty good. Jay White in those, you don't expect him to be there, but he slithers in that snake-like and ends up like kind of how he won the match here. It's like you're not expecting him, and then bam, he hits the Blade Runner and the match is over. Really strong work. I think he deserved the win. I want to see him against Jon Moxley. I want to see him beat Jon Moxley. Like, I think he should be in the position and kind of earn this win. But yeah, the kind of meat and bones of this was Ricochet interfering, looking like a serial killer with his crazy glasses and his blue suit, looking real creepy, blooding up Swerve, like Denise said. Swerve and blood, those are just kind of synonymous things. Made Ricochet look menacing. I love how he did the whole thing and he was serious while he was blading, making him bleed and beating up Swerve. And then immediately afterwards, when he gets out of the ring, he starts laughing. Like, just makes him look crazy, kind of menacing, differentiating his character. Psychotic. That's a great way to describe it. Made him look kind of psychotic and not the direction that I thought they were going to take the character, you know?
Yeah, I didn't think that Ricochet had psychotic in him. I think what helped today was primarily the way that he looked because he came out in the really nice, suit look, the nice clothes, but the things that he was doing with the blood. And when he stabbed open Swerve's forehead, he started doing this thing where he was like headbutting him. And every time he would headbutt him, he would get all that blood on him. And one of the things that I had mentioned in the watch along, Reg, was that I felt like he was those Lifetime movies where you got this really clean cut guy, right? Really handsome, smooth looking. He's got the suit, he's got the job, and he's like a teacher or something or a banker. I don't know. And then it turns out that he's just some crazy guy who, like, I don't know, kills people.
Yeah, that's was the vibe I was giving up. Because when you watch those kind of shows, the guy always has kind of glasses like Ricochet had on. Like, he could be a dentist, he could be a teacher, he could be in this different profession, but then at night he murders people. And that's what it felt like with Ricochet, of like, who's this nice looking guy, clean cut? He got this bald head, nice suit, and then he's actually insane and will leave the ring with a bloody t-shirt and all the sacrifices that he made against Swerve. Really cool, really dope direction for Ricochet. And I'm excited to see this feud, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. I'm liking this. I'm really liking what they're doing with this. And it's successfully working, I feel, with Ricochet. It's giving his character a whole new dimension that, honestly, we didn't even know he had it in him.
Right.
I mean, this was the guy that we were like, no, don't go out there and cut promos, which I'm still not like confident. I'm not saying go cut a promo, Ricochet, but at least what he's doing right now is working enough to add to the character without having to really use any words.
Yeah, exactly. I think that, for a couple weeks, it felt like he was going to try to lean on the laughing thing and lean on that bit. But this kind of changes everything up. And like you said, most of this development in his character has been outside of the ring, not even in the matches. And I think that's what's super important because, like I said, we all know he can flip. We all know what he could do in the ring. But developing this character outside of it is going to really help him moving forward.
Yeah, I feel ya. All right, we got Gotham Guy here who says, guys, the Adam FTR main event focus was geared towards the fans of Charlotte and the Hurricane Relief. Let's be patient, and AEW will return to its regularly scheduled program. See, and I 100% agree and support that. But I think it was also that everything else on the show, there was other opportunities for the show to really take
Not be
you
slow.
away.
Yeah.
Right, right. And
Mhm.
especially again, because it was the first show that was simulcasting, you just want to, get people to see the very best that you have to offer.
Right.
We got Mike T90K. Also, thank you so much, Gotham Guy. We got Mike
Okay.
T90K here who says, I 1000% agree with you all about AEW. I do, though, have faith Tony will listen to us and give us a dream feuds with younger talent. I will always stand by saying AEW has the best pro wrestling roster. I agree. They
Yeah.
have so much good stuff. This is the thing. This is how good, okay, when AEW first started, we were seeing Tony Khan versus WWE, but it was Vince McMahon's WWE.
Mhm.
Now we're seeing Tony Khan versus WWE, but it's the Triple H era of WWE. One
Right.
of the things that I've seen that Triple H has done with the programming is that they've done more now where I feel they've kind of taken a page out of AEW's book where they go out and put matches. They put more into their matches. The matches have increased so much more on the weekly television from what we were previously seeing with the Vince era of Raw and SmackDown. And it's not for all the matches, but quite a few of them. And I personally feel like that was them sort of taking from AEW's book.
Yeah, there's with them putting the extra emphasis on having these 5-match PLE cards in WWE, that has opened it up for the television program where you could do the bigger profile matches because you're not just saving everything for the pay-per-view. And that's something it's kind of like a gift and a curse for WWE because sometimes I feel like they should have more on their PLEs, but helping out their television show, we've seen so many great tag team title matches and so many things that should be on the pay-per-view that are getting more time on TV and to develop. And so that's kind of how I feel about AEW. You have so many talented roster people who aren't featured on a weekly basis that could come out that aren't the top stars and put on these amazing matches if given the opportunities. But it seems like they're just using the same people and the same stuff, and you can expand it a little bit and let some other people get in there and try it out.
I feel you. We got Terrence Johnson here says for Mariah, there are so many women, so many want women to be used. So many women that want to be used. Yeah, there is. There's a lot of women that Mariah May could be going out there and having matches. So since we're on the topic of Mariah May, she did have a little behind the scenes promo that she did. It was very captivating. Mariah May, I think, does a good job of delivering what she has to say. It was just basically putting the AEW women's division on notice once again, and her saying that she's the champion. So it really wasn't anything too new or out of this world. But let's get into some of what else we saw with the women, though, because we did get Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart, and we end up seeing Julia get Jamie with the black mist and essentially pins her for the actual victory here. So now we get Julia Hart getting one over on Jamie. What'd you think of the match here, and what'd you think of the outcome? Because I did think Julia kind of needed this victory a whole lot because she's in here. She's been doing the thing with her vignettes. She's what everyone's saying, female Undertaker. I think Julia was the right call here. And I think that Jamie, though, can get back to the point where she can be that AEW Women's World Champion.
Yeah, I think this was a pretty strong showing from both of them. Julia probably needed the victory a little bit more with what, like you said, the promo videos we saw, which were excellent. They really primed people for her comeback. And so for her to she made her return on Collision. She's kind of been in these positions. She needed this win just a little bit more. And I don't think Jamie's totally dead with the loss here. I like the way that they ended it with she's been adding the spooky stuff to her arsenal already. She's a part of House of Black. So of course Julia would use a black mist in the end, get in Jamie's eyes, get the quick victory over her. but it leaves the door open for many rematches and things because, like I said, it's a cheap victory. It leaves the door open for Jamie to still come out on top at the end of this. I don't think that, like I said, she's totally dead. She's still going to be primed to win one of these championships. They didn't put this in the death 6:30 slot like they usually do for women. Feel like an emphasis. They need to do more of these non-title women's division stories just because it's important for the women to get these reps, you know?
Right. And speaking of the women getting some reps, Mercedes Moné also had an in-ring promo. And basically this was hers just coming out there to a red carpet and a podium. And she basically says that she is going to be going to Wrestle Dynasty, where she's going to wrestle Mina Shirakawa. And she reminds everybody that money changes everything. We have a little video actually that they put up there. And it kind of runs down some of the highlights of Mercedes and what she did in 2024. I felt like this video was I feel like it was done intentionally to be like, hey, we see the conversations that are going around about Mercedes, and here's a video summary of the things that she has done. So I don't know. I thought this was fine. It was brief, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I think for what that list that just came out, Sports Illustrated top 10 matches of the year, Mercedes had a couple of them. The number one match, women's match of the year. I think that was just kind of AEW being like, look at this. If you guys didn't see this, here it is. Mercedes, through all the talk, you guys try to say she's washed. Look at what she's done this year. She's had some of the best matches. Righteous Reg comes on the show every week and tells you how amazing she is. So why aren't you listening to her, listening to him? And that's what Mercedes was kind of being like, look, regardless of what you guys say, I have all the money. I'm going to have this amazing match with Mina. I'm going to take her championship, and I'm still going to be the best. It was just a good way to get her on the show, promote this match that's happening this weekend, you know?
We got Hamburger Helper here who says, yeehaw, do you think my Bailey debuts next Wednesday? When are they doing the Maximum Carnage show on the 15th? What did they do it until then, the Maximum Carnage show, just to give it a little extra boost?
Now that I think about it, I think with them promoting the winner of the triple threat match that we talked about earlier with Swerve, Jay White, and Roderick Strong, was the winner gets the number one position in the Casino Gauntlet or Casino Battle Royal. I could see Mike Bailey debuting in the Casino Battle Royal next week as like the Joker or whatever it is.
Especially because they're gonna need bodies for that, and bodies that you actually think can win.
Exactly, because if they just do this thing like they had a battle royal in the last 2 months where one of them I was like, I don't believe any of these guys are gonna win this. There's two people in here that I know will probably win. You can't continue to do battle royals like that.
Yeah, I kind of hate some of that stuff, but I don't know. I think my favorite battle royal that AEW did this year was the one at All In. That one was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. See, if they could get that kind of energy again, I think it'll be dope.
Yeah. We got Turn Up the Heat here who says WWE crap in their pants now. AEW on stream. God, good. They're going to be fine. They're on Netflix. This is going to, I'm so excited to see what what WWE does on Netflix. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. I hope that it's for the better. I think I always get, and someone here in the chat, you guys can let us know, but I always do get surprised though by how many people I have seen on social media that don't have Netflix. And I'm like, what? Like, how do you not have Netflix yet? Do you have Netflix, Reg?
Yeah, well, I get it for free through my cell phone provider. That's the only reason I really have it. So,
what cell phone provider gives you Netflix for free?
T-Mobile.
I have T-Mobile.
Yeah, you can get it for free.
For Netflix.
Oh, you're getting robbed. Yeah, through T-Mobile, you get it for free.
How?
Just go into your account and there's legit like a box that you check and then it sends you to the site and you register it. Yeah, they give a free Netflix, free Hulu also, and free AAA. You need to get, there's perks, Denise.
I pay for the Hulu and for the AAA.
Perks that you are missing out on through your T-Mobile account. Yes.
What?
Yes.
I was not aware of this.
They're perks.
All right, I gotta go and look at that here today. But see, if I start a new account though, I gotta start a new account. Yeah, but then I already have all my little shows saved, my algorithm. You know, my page looks like things I'd click on. I gotta start all over with that.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. All right. Yeah, Denise is getting ripped off, man.
They're getting you good.
Yeah, for reals, man. All right. Thank you so much to turn up the heat here. Who says, we got well-rounded Leo who says, Reg, younger AEW talent need to step up. I'm sorry, they're great in the ring, but they are boring with no personality.
They
Like
don't get the
who?
opportunities. Like anybody that they don't give them the time, they only put the younger people in the matches. Like you said, like we're talking about with Mariah, they don't give her the opportunity to do a real in-ring promo. It's all like the younger talent will kill it in backstage promos after match thing. But if you aren't given the opportunity to excel in front of the crowd, you never will.
Yeah. Well, here and like also like yeah, like you said, like repetition, going out there, repetition, getting better and better. Like that's what's gonna get people places. But yeah, man. Oof, I don't know. All right, we got Mike T90K here says Salcedo, you're gonna go viral in 2025. I already know. I always get nervous when people say go viral because usually when you go viral, it's for a bad thing, never for a good thing.
Like it's like, what do you mean viral? Like I could go
Yeah.
viral, but it's bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's not always fun, guys. We got Toby here who says, but you know what though? If viral means 200,000, 300,000 YouTube subscribers, then I will welcome the
That's what's
viralability.
viral.
All right, we got Toby here who says SmackDown Born to Run was underrated. Which one's that one?
Born to Run.
I don't remember that one. I need to hear the song. I need to hear the lyrics. Sing it to me, Reg.
I don't know that one.
Okay. Someone here in the chat can sing it then. Put the comments, put the lyrics in here. All right. We got Chinaduo Goo who's in the building. He says, I'm so happy the MJF Cole feud is over. Please make him world champion, not Edge, Moxley, or old man Jarrett. Much love. Feel bad for Jeff Jarrett. Why they gotta throw him in there? Now people be hating on poor Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, Double J don't deserve this.
Do that though. Why did they have him do that? Like they opened him up for people to be like, yo, what the fuck? What do you mean you're going for the AEW World Championship? We haven't even talked about that. Jeff Jarrett says he's going for the AEW World Championship, gets a behind the scenes and an in-ring promo, is going for the title. He's in the Casino Gauntlet next week. And yeah.
I like Jeff Jarrett, but why? Is my question. Like, why did we spend all this time doing this? I never believed that he was going to retire. I never believed any of this. Like, just say he's going to be in the gauntlet, announce him. Like, I didn't understand why we're taking this time. Like I said, when there are younger people like Chinadu's describing here, that it could be dedicated to, it just didn't make a lot of sense. Jeff Jarrett got a title. He got a match on the pay-per-view with QT. Like, all this is being dedicated. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm just confused.
Right. Chinadu, thank you so much. We got Turn Up the Heat here who says if Cope and Big Cass swapped faces, it's no different.
Silly.
Yeah, Edge and Big Edge. Exciting stuff. We got Birds McHugh who says best post show in the game. Hope you can check out my match list of 2024 on Blue Sky. Would love to know what matches you forgot about. Much love for Reeds. Thank you so much. Tag us in that if you can. If you guys ever want us to see anything on social media, the best way is to tag us so we can see it. So tag us and yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here. We got Turn Up the Heat who says, use that Pointer Sister song for your next Blue Chew.
So excited. I see, I got it. I'm caught up.
Alexander Fitzgerald says Swerve brought out the best heel character in Hangman, and now he's about to bring out the best heel character in Trevor. I mean, Ricochet. So Swerve makes good people bad.
He does. Like his hatred bring the hatred that the people have for him turn them into different characters. So everybody should be in a feud with Swerve is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Throw him in, I hate to say this. I know no one's going to want to hear this, but maybe Adam Cole would benefit from that because he needs a little spark.
He does. Swerve with the charity. I like it.
We got thank you so much, Alexander. We got Turn Up the Heat here who says, why does the US flag always look like an ASAP Rocky album cover to the CCO colorblind?
He can't see what colors are on it. I see it.
Y'all are wild. Bailey Darley here says, will you have some games for the SmackDown watch along? Yes, I will work on that. I will make sure to do that. Thank you, Bailey. Turn Up the Heat says, if Mansoor and MJF swap faces, it's no different. What?
Do they look alike?
They don't look alike. They do not look alike. There's no way. They don't look alike. I don't see it. I don't see it. Matt Logan here says, Born to Run, Springsteen classic song. I like Springsteen, but I only know like 2 songs. All right. Let's keep this going. All right. Where are we at that we haven't talked about
Orange yet? And Hangman starting the show.
Oh, yeah. They kicked off the show with a fun little sprint of a match here. Adam Page gets the win, buckshot lariat. After the match, we see him lay out Cassidy with a pair of dead eyes. That was kind of cool. Christopher Daniels comes out to confront Hangman, Adam Page, but then gets bammed, clocked in the face. And we see Hangman Page follow up with a kick as well. And he tells Daniels to basically stay out of his business.
Yes, this is what, like, I felt the Max vibes in this match. You got Orange Cassidy, who's an AEW faithful. We got Hangman Page, who represents AEW hella hardcore. Like the beginning of this, these two guys going back and forth in a nice little sprint. Like this was like, okay, this is Max. If you're watching this for the first time, this is the type of vibes that you should be giving up. Switch this for the main event. The main event in the first match should have maybe been switched because this is how you want to end the show. You know what I mean? With this guy who we feel like should be world champion, Orange Cassidy has to have a run in the future. Like this is what I want to feel when I watch the show.
We were all excited. We were like, wow, they started off the show with 2 AEW OGs.
And that was it.
Yeah,
that
was it.
Mm.
All right, we got turn up the heat here. It says John Cruz and Serpentico books the same tattoo artist. What? What is happening here? Turn up the heat. Thank you for the super chat. All right, let's keep this going. It looks like a breakup is impending soon for the Acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. They had a match against the Hurt Syndicate today, and the big thing that happened here was that Anthony Bowens basically left Max Caster there all alone to get his ass whooped by both Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. What a downfall from heaven. These guys, the Acclaimed, they were on cloud freaking 9. They had the cool little quotes. They had the cool little bang, bang, scissor gang, scissor me, daddy ass, all of that stuff. They had all of that going. And it feels like in the last year, it just has gone downhill for them. I do think, and I said this on the watch along, but I do think that it all started the moment that they lost the tag team titles to the Guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Guns, having Billy Gunn be involved, like something, their cool factor slowly started to fade away. Max Caster was talking crazy online. There's a bunch of like things against them that people held against the Acclaim. But now I think they're in a good position. Max Caster has turned that heat into real wrestling heat, which is working out for him. Anthony Bowens keeps gaining different fanfare in different ways. This way, them teasing Anthony potentially, either one of these guys potentially being in the Hurt Syndicate, and them having this match, the Hurt Syndicate getting that "We Hurt People" chant from the crowd is always so great. Getting to see Lashley in more matches, I think, is a good idea because him just kind of being the menacing guy standing around, it's not doing a lot for me. I like to see him in positions like this. I like to see Sheldon in positions like this in matches with AEW people who represent what the company really is. The tease for this is really great, I think. Bowens getting kind of fed up with Max Caster and his shit. Max Caster just being like, what, man? I'm the best wrestler alive. I'm just trying to get my bits in. I think it's all really great. I hope that they do the full turn on the full split up of them and they have a match. I think they could still go a lot of ways with both these guys. So this is exciting.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think that the online heat that Max Caster is getting is actually kind of working for his character because usually it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's the opposite. Like we saw what happened with Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the stuff that, Chris Jericho, like online and things he was associated with and all of that kind of like just ended up backfiring. And then, obviously it was two totally different situations with Jericho and Max Caster, but there are some similarities in terms of just some of the things that were like irritating fans. Right. So now we're in a situation though, where it's actually working for Max Caster. So we'll see what they end up doing there. But what happens with Anthony Bowens? What about Anthony Bowens in the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah, I think that turning Anthony Bowens heel and have him go that route is a great idea. But he's such a great baby face, I think, moving forward, that getting him in like the TNT Championship division, establishing him that way, I think can work too. Getting him on Collision and just letting him wrestle, I think is the way to really get people behind Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, for sure. That it's almost like you got to start. So you got to start from scratch because you got to prove that he's a singles guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Alrighty, and so that's where we're at with pretty much that. We got LaRon Ford, by the way. LaRon, good to see you again. He just became a brand new DWO member, so thank you so much to LaRon. I appreciate that a whole lot, man. All right, what haven't we talked about here on the show?
Powerhouse Hobbs squashed somebody, but
he had a squash against John Cruz and Rob Killjoy.
He looked great, but not too much to write home about.
people don't people, when I say people, I mean me. I don't really care for these like Wardlow type squashes. That's what I'm calling them.
Squash matches are fucking dumb. I hate them.
I like them when they're like legitimately looking like they're killing the other person. Oh, that, I mean, I know that makes me seem so violent and brutal and mean, but that's the
Yeah.
truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was it. That was the show today.
That was it. That was all.
That was AEW Fight for the Fallen, the premiere on HBO Max. So heads up on everybody on what's going down this week on the stream, on the channel. Tomorrow, I will be here live doing AEW 2024 trivia, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Do not be late if you want to play and you actually want to play live. The only way to do so is by showing up on time. There's a maximum of like 400 players that can play on Kahoot. So if you guys come on in, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's happening tomorrow. AEW 2024 trivia. Friday, I'll be here with Robin to do a SmackDown post show. Oh, and I'll also be here for a watch along on SmackDown. I forgot to promote that. I'm doing a watch along for SmackDown, kind of testing the waters and see if that's something that I continue doing moving forward. And then this Saturday, Reg and I will be here doing a watch along for Wrestle Dynasty. So for those of you sickos, by the way, I was thinking about being like a double sicko, Reg, because did you know? Oh, well, I didn't know this, so I'm sorry. Everybody else is probably gonna think I'm stupid, but I didn't realize that it's gonna be Collision first and then Wrestle Dynasty. So there's a world where we can sit here and do Collision and Dynasty, but I decided against it because I figured it was just overkill if we
Don't
did
say
that.
that out loud, Denise.
What? I know. I don't know why. I'm too. I can't lie. If it's in my head, I'm gonna say it.
Jesus.
But that's what I said. I was like, I'm not gonna be a sicko like that. I'll be a regular sicko and just do Wrestle Dynasty.
Thank you, pretty much, because that's a lot of time and a lot of talking for like 500 hours. But I see you. I see your drive. I see your ambition. But yeah, we'll be here on Saturday, you guys.
Oh man, we got Bailey Darley here who says Hurt Syndicate for tag champs. I can see it, but I feel like Shelton Benjamin might see himself as a singles champ. Bobby Lashley sees himself as a singles champ. All of these people in the Hurt Syndicate seem like they see themselves as singles champs instead of as a unit.
Yeah, these guys didn't really come to win tag team championships. They came to win the big one. Like Bobby Lashley wants to be world champion. He ain't playing that.
Yes, exactly. Bailey, thank you so much. Alrighty, and that is it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Reg, new year, new you. What do you got going on?
New year, new me, same old shit. Tomorrow's Ask Grapsody, Fightful Network, regular Grapsodies on Saturday. You know, I'll be here on Saturday with Denise too. It's not this stuff, not anything new, but there is a bunch of new coming. A lot of great stuff happening this year. Some crazy things that I can't even describe on this show are fucking happening. So keep an eye out.
1000%. Alrighty, everyone. As for me, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. I'm on the road to 200,000 subscribers, and I'm only 7,490 subscribers away. It's going to be a journey, but I'm pushing, trying to get through. Keep an eye out for daily content here starting Mondays through Fridays. Keep an eye out for that and a bunch of streams coming up. And then we got another super chat here from Turn Up the Heat who says, TK, please sign Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's a free agent. Reg, you can see Baron Corbin in AEW?
No, please do not.
I can. I think that the work that he did on NXT was good. I can see him like being somebody that we see as a regular on Collision.
That is the impactingest most wrestler I've ever heard of. If that fool don't show up on a goddamn Impact show, what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, we'll see where we end up seeing Baron Corbin. But guys, that is it for everybody. Hope you're having an awesome New Year's. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.